I was out, but what is the name of the organization you work with to get people off the streets?
Actually, we have a group called Metro that we work with, and we work with actually 2 or 3 different groups that we help. But our church does a lot of that. Apostolic Church North Little Rock, we do quite a bit of that. We also work with another group called Metro, and work pretty closely with them. Then we work with another group actually over in Little Rock, and it's actually a consortium of groups that works out of downtown Presbyterian Church down there. We work with them as well. So we actually work with several different groups.
Thank you.
Well, this is a little off the wall, I guess, but I know in November, and I can't remember which ballot initiative it is, we're going to get the constitutional right to hunt, fish, and trap. It seems like we've had this in the Constitution where it says the other rights is enumerated. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that, number one, the Second Amendment, is pretty clear. And in fact, I was asking someone the other day about this, because my concern, but when I talk to police officers, they'll say, and I know you're talking more about hunting and fishing, but I think it all trails back to, and there is an agenda on to try to take firearms and to make it like it is, is not a right. And so I think that's something we have to guard against very closely. But I'm not as familiar with what you're referring to, the ballot initiative, and I apologize for that, but I'm not.
I just found out about it the other day.
But I do believe, in fact, a officer asked me, he said, "Are you for a ban on assault weapons?" And I have to be honest, when I think of gun rights, I think of a handgun to protect yourself. I think of a rifle or a shotgun to go out and hunt. And the policeman, in fact, it was Chief Radley, who I know pretty well over North Little Rock, and that's a big concern of policemen. But in talking to gun rights advocates, their problem is that'll be used as an excuse to get the foot in the door to eradicate all gun rights. So I think we got to be very vigilant in that area, whether it's hunting, fishing, or whether it is assault weapons. That it's not an end run on us to rid us of our gun rights.
So if we vote no, we lose our right to hunt fish, so then why do you have a gun? But if we vote yes, and they decide, well, we don't need to hunt the deer and the squirrel and the rabbits because there's not enough of them, why do you need a gun? So we could end up harming ourselves either way we go.
Is there maybe someone else? Is there anybody here?
I'm sorry.
No.
I just found out about that.
That's an issue that I've researched pretty closely, and I actually
I hate to be making
am an avid hunter and fisherman and a gun rights advocate. In fact, we're right now we're looking for a statewide Second Amendment coordinator, and that's one of the things that Secure Arkansas that we're doing. Is we're bringing in specialists in different areas, and they're going to research and keep us up to speed on that. And we'll have separate pages. We just have set up a new property rights page on our website, so we're doing that as well. But the hunting and fishing amendment is a very big concern of mine. And if you'll, it's odd to me that the politician that has been the biggest adversary to the Game and Fish Commission over the last 20 years is a sponsor of that bill. He has tried to strip the Game and Fish of their power. He has tried to strip them of their money through every financial resource that they have, so that they would come more under the legislative process and be controlled by the legislature more than what they are now. Right now they act independently. And this politician has tried to strip them of that for years. And it's odd to me that the biggest adversary of the Game and Fish is the one introducing this bill. So I think there's a definite agenda there. There was one politician in the legislature that fought this amendment, and he just happened to be an ex-commissioner with the Game and Fish, so he really understood the topic. And what he tried to point out is that the wording in this language opens the doors for lawsuits that would affect how people manage deer on their private property, and could actually limit some of the hunting rights that we have now. So the question is, will we lose our right to hunt? No. This is a constitutional amendment that changes nothing. We already have the right to hunt. It's already there. It's through the Arkansas Game and Fish. So it is a piece of legislation that is not necessary. I believe there's an agenda attached to it, and I believe it will open doors for lawsuits that will slowly strip away our rights in the future.
Let me say
I'm
this.
strongly against this
Let me say,
legislation.
if you have noticed that a lot of your ballot issues are so mundane and they're written, I believe, so that we can't understand them.
Exactly.
And so I believe that one of the primary things that a lieutenant governor can do, because he is a constitutional officer, is work with groups like Secure Arkansas, work with others, and get a good understanding of these bills and these ballot initiatives, and then put on a campaign, because they'll have the money, just like the lottery, it had the money, and it had the platform to be pushed. Well, we need a platform to support the people and not get these bills and ballot initiatives that we get slipped in the back door. So we need somebody that says, hey, this is a rotten idea. Follow the money, follow the power, and you'll always find it. Let me just say this real quick on the health care deal. I never could figure out the health care deal totally. I heard everybody say what they thought the health care issue was about. But I followed the money trail. And you already know this, but the money trail was all these unions owe all of this money for the unfunded health care liability. And what they're trying to do, they're trying to get the government to take all this health care liability that they have. And anytime you follow the money, follow the influence, and that tells me everything right there. The guy that used to be against the game and fish now is all of a sudden giving us a constitutional amendment, our ballot initiative. That's rotten. So I believe that's another important process.
Who is there?
Senator Steve Ferris, since you asked.
Thank you. Thanks, Doug.